Rockford, Illinois on a windy night, Bubba came running through the rain. Said, Johnny B, start that truck up quick, Diane's gone half insane. Law's been sniffing around all week and she's twice as mean as they are. Johnny B said, boy, you bring trouble, but he fired up the large car. Rolled through Chicago before the dawn, headlights cutting the fog. Bubba ducking every passing cop like a nervous old hound dog. If Diane catches up to me, Lord, I'm finished for sure. Johnny B said, son, I ain't asking why, I already know why, just don't bleed on the floor. From Chicago down to Florida, then New York in the rain, all the way to California, running hard across the plain. One man hiding from Diane in the long arm of the law, one man laughing at the madness of the wildest ride he saw. In Chicago town, Bubba climbed a gravel hill. Said he'd walk that railroad track just to prove his nerve and will. Passenger train came screaming by, fast as lightning through the wind. Bubba took about 2 quick steps, then turned and ran again. Boots flying through the gravel, yelling, Johnny B, wait! Dove back in that truck cab like a man escaping fate. I was leaning on the fender, laughing so hard I could cry. Said, son, those Chicago trains ain't something you outrun or try. Hotel room somewhere on the road, cartoons on the TV. Bubba laughing, watching Johnny Bravo pointing over at me. Said, Johnny B, check this out, man, this dude is you. Johnny Bravo slid to the girl saying, baby, wanna do the monkey too. I was outside working smooth, talking every line I knew. Bubba yelling through the doorway, Johnny B, that's you, yeah. Picked a girl up down the road, she climbed up in the cab. Curtain closed behind the seats while Bubba took a nap. She heard a noise behind the curtain, said, who's back there with you? I said, oh, that's just my dog, like it was nothing new. She pulled the curtain open wide, saw Bubba blinking in the dark. Said, you told me there was a dog back there. I said, well, don't he look the part? Johnny B was working smooth, talking sweet to them all. Fancy dresses, southern smiles, every head turning my way. I thought I owned that whole room by the middle of the day. Then Bubba stood up slow, pulled out that walking cane. And Lord have mercy, what happened next nearly drove me insane. Girls started flocking over like birds to summer grain, leaving Johnny B standing there thinking I need me a cane. I leaned over laughing, said, Bubba, what did you do? He said, Johnny B, I don't know, but this thing works better than you. Then there was a Diane from West Virginia, different from Rockford Diane. That girl climbed up in the truck, said she liked traveling with a man. Rolling down the grapevine fast, doing 105 or more. Blue lights flashing in the mirror, pulled us over on the floor. Cop said, boy, you know why I stopped you? I said, for doing 105. He said, no. I said, no truck lane. He said, no. I said, then why'd you stop me? He said, drivers warned you on the CB, but you never answered back. I said, officer, honestly, I didn't know what channel to be, so I left it on 19. He laughed and shook his head, said, son, you're something else. Then said, put it on 15, 15, 15, and get the hell on out of here. 7 days without much sleep, white lines rolling by. Bubba looked at Johnny B, said, man, you're gonna make me die. When you ever gonna stop and sleep? You're killing me, I swear. Johnny B laughing said, son, the road takes leather ass and a good steel pair. Sitting at a TA in California, waiting on a midnight load. Bubba looking half worn out from 50 days on the road. Waitress walked by with an apple pie cooling on the countertop. Bubba said, don't bring a slice, bring the whole thing to this stop. We didn't bother with no plates, just forks and laughed aloud. That poor pie didn't stand a chance with Bubba hanging around. Truth is, Bubba's eyes were fading. Doctor said the light might go. So I told him before that day, there's a lot you need to know. Climb up in this semi-cab, ride this road with me. Before the dark comes settling in, I'll show you what you need to see. 51 days across this land, from mountains to the sea, through Florida sun and desert wind, to New York rain with me. That's the reason Bubba and Johnny B are friends today, you see. Because a promise on the highway is a debt a man must keep. From Rockford down to Florida, then New York in the rain, all the way to California, across the dang terrain. 51 days out on the road before I dropped him off. Two fools laughing down the highway at the wildest ride we saw.